So the mind here is saying to you, if this that the mind represents was to allow mind to speak on its behalf and say something about the experience of being in a body, appearing as a person, appearing as a human, appearing as a form, it would be this. Of all the insights, of all the experience, of all the revelations, of all the dissolutions and annihilations and overwhelming joy in that Sat Chit Ananda state, and the discovery of what most call consciousness or God, Brahman, Absolute, whatever name you give it, that discovery was an immense discovery, immense realization, immense recovery. But it would be none of the experiences, meaning that moment of the voice that said, one moment, and dissolved that satanic self that was probably ingrained within. This mind would say, on behalf of that, what it represents. Question. Are you I? Is that your name? Is that your whole encompassing self, I? Is that your predominant, primary place of understanding, of experiencing, of? Does your love arise from I? Does your kindness, your compassion, your anger arise from I? If so, what is I? Are you I? If you're not I, what are you? Who investigates I? Not the EYE, the I. The word that we use in every sentence about ourselves. I want to find Jesus. Why do you not say whatever your birth name is from your parents, like in this case? Graham wants to find Jesus, because Graham is a third party then. Is it not? If Graham says Graham wants to find Jesus, is Graham speaking about itself? Is Graham speaking about its identity? Or is Graham speaking about another? Is it Graham that's speaking about the body? Is it the body that's speaking as Graham about I? Is I speaking about the body and ignoring the name? Surely if we all use the word I, we're all using the same name, the same identity. But that's just an idea, is it not? Is that another concept? Why waste my life inquiring about I? I have more important things to inquire about. I have God, Jesus, my job, my marriage, my children. Who is my? My, an extension of I. My. If human beings were to change based on what most true speakers of I have maybe forced a question into all other I's minds, I would be happy if when I see children go to school, all schools, all children, and the teacher stands up and says, okay, you've had your maths this morning, you've had your history, you've had your science, you've had your religious education. I am the teacher of I. The subject today is I. What's going to happen? Is the children going to become monks? Are the children going to become robots? Are the children going to become hypnotized? What's really going to happen is all adults that have experienced depression and anxiety and suffering has been based on I. Therefore, they have to self-inquire. The questioning about I removes that suffering and depression and anxiety for most who see it through, who spend this times inquiring about I. Is I the person, or is I a tower? Is I within me? Is I everywhere? When you take it personally, you'll always be I. And there's no one really that cannot take it personally. I have used the name I, and I will continue to use the name I. But where is this I based? Why is it that we all talk from the same place, the same I-ness, the same ISness? It's not that children will learn anything. It's not that you'll learn anything. If you learn something, that's the mind trying to say, okay, you've learned it, move on. But the children will be happy. They won't have to self-inquire when they're an adult. They'll live with kindness and compassion. They'll live with the knowledge that of their greatness, of their vastness. And they'll still be that child that you love. They'll still speak about themselves as I. They'll still do the same things. They'll still be in the same body. They'll still experience. It's just that they've understood a bit more about themselves. Because we go through the world accepting I as just another syllable, another personal word that I have to use to get on in life, to get through, to get fit in, to get by. And we become lazy, so we just use I all the time. I want, I need, I have. I live, I love. I cry, I bake, I paint. Who is I? That's a question. Your children will be so content, and they will be far more intelligent with the other subjects, because their wisdom is vast. And when they're wise, they will become Einsteins, Beethovens, Titians, Churchills. Every child will be the same. And what a great future, if you want to speak about future, when all eyes realize that they're not solely this I. There is a bigger picture there. I don't think it's going to happen. See, this I does not think it's going to happen, because it's far too an unintelligent question, really. Why spend the whole 4 years at school on a subject about I? You better use the word like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's much more interesting and elongated, and it will take so much of their time up. Time is about the quality of time. It's not about the quantity of time. It's not about the greatness of time. It is about seeing through time, and then living with time, in a time body, in a timeless, infinite self. Don't look for God. God will appear through I. Don't look for spirit, soul, consciousness, all appearing through I. Don't look for happiness, love. Find it within I. It's the greatest syllable. It's vast. It's colossal. It's infinite. It's boundless. It's limitless. But what is it? Who is it? Where is it? That's what I would leave you. That's what I would leave you. Are you you when you're the listener? And then I when the speaker? I can go on. I can go on and on and on. And if you live this life of I as a body, as a person alone, you will go on and on, samsara living, of coming and returning until you actually spend that subject at school. Introduce it wisely. And all the children won't have to do this suffering, depression, anxiety, self-inquiry later on in life. They won't have to face up to their fears, their worries, because they will have seen through I. I is. Om. Namaste. Thank you.